Hello my friends, Ukrainian officials from the President's office say that there could be the peace agreement with Russia about Crimea. The statement was published today and they say that if Ukrainian army would go to the border with Crimea, we may start talking with Russia about this peninsula if Russia would not give us back the land in a diplomatic way. We're gonna continue the counterattack to Crimean territory. And I think that it's a good move from the Ukrainian government because they may present a peace deal to get Crimea back peacefully, because why would you fight there? There are lots of the civilians. Why would you waste the lives of the soldiers and destroy the Crimean infrastructure? Because war destroys everything. But 99.99% that Russia would refuse for that deal and the fighting will continue in Crimea. And it also means that Ukrainian officials confirm that the attack will be conducted on the south part of Ukraine. Russia tried to dig down to the ground, creating some sort of the trenches and defense lines, but those are poorly equipped. And today many resources say that Ukraine concentrated around 40,000 soldiers near to Zaporizhia, much more than it was before. And again, from what we can see, they might go to Tokmak, then to Melitopol, and then to Crimea. The problem with Crimea that you have just two ways to go to it, two of the roads, and also this part of the land, which is quite open and also could be attacked by the Russian boats from the Azov Sea. So indeed it is quite risky to go to two of the bottlenecks over here, and it doesn't matter how many forces you have, they will be narrowed to the very restrictive area, basically the road. And Russia may aim everything they have to those particular spots, destroying and demolishing the Ukrainian armored vehicles and live forces. So it's not really a great idea, but we may build some extra bridges across those lakes because now we have the equipment. And with the help of the long-range missiles from the HIMARS systems, we may also demolish the Russian positions near to Jankoy and close to those areas, and we may also successfully go through the border and enter Crimea. Then you enter Crimea, it would be much easier task because Russia haven't really built the serious defense lines in that peninsula. Alright, now to the awesome news. We have the successful counterattack in Avdiivka, but before we go to it, let me tell you about the partner and the sponsor of my channel, the Atlas VPN. The last month they launched the outstanding big deal for my subscribers and viewers, where you can get the huge discount for the Atlas VPN Premium, and now it's just $1.83 per month. So it is a big opportunity to get the big deal for you, but it is the time limited, so hurry up to join the club. And now I'm gonna tell you why the Atlas VPN is the best VPN out there. It has military encryption standards, strongly securing your data and your devices from being reached by government, unwanted ads, and also hackers. Yes, you may say hackers, why do they need my account? Well, actually, my friends, I got personal experience that my pilot blog channel dedicated to aviation was hacked. Then I was using public Wi-Fi. All of my videos were deleted, and after that hackers told me to send Bitcoin for them and they will open access to my own account. I didn't transfer anything and just started the new channel with the same name. And obviously after that case I use the VPN all of the time, and for me personally Atlas VPN is the best VPN out there. Atlas VPN is very fast. It guarantees you the best streaming connection, then you watch movies on Netflix. And also by changing your virtual location you may get access to watch all of the movies, all of the series on Netflix platform. It helped me a lot. Alright, now let's move to Avdiivka, and I told you that Ukrainian forces performed the counterattack in this area, and let's see the timeline. It was yesterday and it is today. We are getting closer to that road, and this counterattack is being confirmed by the Ukrainian military command. Usually if you see even bigger change on the military map, it's not being confirmed by the military command, but now they say that the Ukrainian army started the counterattack near to Avdiivka. So maybe the general idea is to go from this side and cutting Russian forces out from their supplies. The good thing that there are no big defense lines that Russia was able to build, so their defense lines are lying across this old front line between the DPR and Ukraine, self-proclaimed DPR by the way. So they have several of them, and the Ukrainian side also has the same from our side. And that's why Russia is unable to penetrate them in Avdiivka. And for us, it would be the suicide mission just to go to this side because they are ready, they are waiting for us. But if we go along the front line, cutting them over here, it could be a nice decision. And yes, you may say that we liberated just a tiny piece of land over here, but this map goes with some delay. Sometimes it's up to 2 days. The counterattack started yesterday, so I hope to see the new update very soon with more ground taken by Ukrainian forces. I'm gonna keep you updated about this stuff. And also, there are no good news without the bad news. Let's go to the Bakhmut city for the recent update, and actually I may confirm that we lost all of the central part of the city together with the factory. And this gray area is the question mark. Russia claimed that they took the control over this territory, but Ukraine is still controlling this part, and it's good. And yes, Russian forces are pushing Ukraine out from the city center, but they are unable, as I say to you many times, to encircle our forces from both of the sides. Simply they are in lack of their resources. And today, the President Zelensky said that if they see the big risk for our soldiers to be encircled in the Bakhmut city, they would withdraw the forces out. The crucial thing that we keep control over the crossroad near to Hromovo. It is the supply line. Without it, we cannot survive in the Bakhmut city. The Ukrainian army keeps fighting and they drag the Russian forces, and Wagners are unable to move further to Slavyansk, Kramatorsk and Drushkivka. And the best thing to slow down any army is the urban environment fighting for the city. All of the main battles in Europe, for example in the Second World War, they happen in the big cities or around the cities. Because it is much easier to build the defense lines, you may hide your troops, and also there's the battle for infrastructure, let's say. So as for the rest parts, everything is more or less stable. Now let's go to the latest news and events. President Zelensky today visited Poland. They met with Polish officials, and Poland will send those armored vehicles. It's good that we'll have the battle turrets on the top. It's awesome. Based on this platform of Ruzzia, you can put everything you want, like air defense systems and mostly guns. It is a great modern-day infantry vehicle, and I'm very happy that we'll have those in Ukrainian army. Before we spoke about 100 units, but now we'll have around 24. And they will go to Ukrainian army as soon as possible. The rest will go a little bit later, and it's not the gift from the Poland. From the news, they say that Ukraine paid for it, so we purchased those BTRs or infantry fighting vehicles for Ukraine. There is also the version with mortar, and it's called RAK. Maybe we're gonna get those as well. What we already have is the Avenger anti-aircraft system. It's the short-range system based on the Humvees. And you have the radars, you have everything. It's the good thing to shut down the helicopters and low-flying airplanes. Where's the system? Oh, here we have it. The Humvee, and you have the rockets, and also you have the gun against the low-flying drones as well. So I really like this system, and I'm very happy that we have those in Ukrainian army. Pentagon officials say that our soldiers are ready to start the training on Abrams tanks. Just to remind you, Abrams tanks should be delivered to Ukraine at the end of the autumn. At least before the United States officials said about it, and there should be a little bit more than 30 units of those tanks. And there's some fighting reported in Chechnya. Russia fights against the rebels probably, and we have just the sound of the booms. So there could be some sort of the clashes inside the Russian Federation. But for now it's not a big conflict that may spark something inside the Russia. And this is the fresh video from the Bakhmut city. The trench is totally mudded, and before it was the snow, now snow melted, and the only place where you can go forward is the city itself, because it has many roads and the streets. And I already posted this on my Telegram channel. Russia claimed that they've took Ukrainian pilot on their territory. The airplane performed the forced landing because one of the blades of the propeller just separated mid-air, and as you can see, it's not a military airplane, it's the Ukrainian ultralight aircraft Aeropract. And we already have the name of the pilot. I don't know whether you need it or not, but I'm trying now to figure out whether this information is true or false. Because Russians found the armor vest and also automatic rifle that this guy claimed that he carried with himself. And pilots say that it was the surveillance mission, but it should have been conducted over the Ukrainian territory to check out how the Ukrainian air defense works. There are no any registration marks on the airplane, but I think it would be still easy to identify this airplane. So now I'm talking with our aviation community about the guy, and now we don't have the confirmation about his identity or the airplane, so still waiting. Alright, finally someone smoked inside the Russian Defense Ministry. Officially they report that it was the kettle that caught the fire and they have to eliminate it with fire brigades. But we know that they're heavy smokers, yeah. And the Institute of the War Researchers confirmed that Ukraine performed a successful counterattack on the north from Avdiivka. And still it's hard to say what territory we were able to get under our control. According to the deep state, it's kind of the small part of the territory, but according to this map, it's quite big. And let's check out the enemy side. So this map was published by the Russian media, Wagner forces or whatever, and this is the border they claim that they've took, and I think it's more or less precise, but they're in like of the gray area where the fighting is ongoing, but mostly it's the same map. This screenshot shows the attack on the Russian position, so there are some armored vehicles out there and tanks. It's nothing unusual in this war, but something is special about this video. The full video you may find on my Telegram channel, by the way. And here is the Russian territory, 1.5 kilometers away from the Ukrainian border. So it seems like we are okay with that. Let's see if Russia is okay with that. But I'm sure that there will be no any comments from their side. Right, my friends, I'm gonna keep you updated on situation in Ukraine, and now don't forget to check the link for the Atlas VPN, the best VPN out there, and with my personal link you have the very huge discount with a big deal which is time limited, so hurry up to join the club. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.